way back when I was in high school, I found out that a creationist was going to be coming to my town and giving a talk about why we should teach creationism in schools. So I decided to attend, and I did attend, and most of the talk consisted of this reason why evolution is not true, which was the same sort of nonsense that we hear all the time. And obviously, as an uninvited atheist, and in a situation where this person has the floor, I couldn't just barge in and start arguing with him or anything like that, naturally. But I decided that what I could do was, when it came time to ask questions, that I could just ask a question that might in some way cast doubt upon the creationism ethics without sounding
Can you back up a second and
Sure.
say, was this like a school-sponsored event, or was this like some sort of debate or some sort of talk?
It was not a debate. It was, I'm not sure if he was invited by school people in the area, but it was not a debate. He was the only speaker, and he was giving a speech mostly to a sympathetic audience, which consisted of parents, PTA members,
So this was at the high school
teachers
level?
from the area. I think he was speaking to sort of all levels. It wasn't the students, it was the teachers, and his intent was to try and promote teaching creationism in schools. He called it intelligent design, but...
And this is in a public school? This is in...
Yes, it was for a public school.
Because these things matter for church-state separation issues,
yes,
right?
and this is California, by the way. This is California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had some pointed questions for the folks?
Well, actually, I mean, the thing is that you don't actually have to, I mean, if the main issue is keeping creationism out of schools, you don't have to get into the argument of whether creationism is accurate or not. I mean, really what you need to point out is that there are a lot of legal precedents already where they kept trying to bring this stuff, I mean, like in Dover versus, who was it?
Yeah, it's been ruled a number of times that creationism is religion, and
yeah, I mean,
religion
they
has
keep
no place
popping
in
up like a
school.
whack-a-mole game trying to get it instituted in some other place, but, I mean, they lose every time. They lose, and it costs the, it costs the school district a lot of money to have to defend against these lawsuits.
Right. Well, I think all the more reason for those of us who aren't charging money for our time to at least be visible in there. This was probably maybe 7 or 8 years ago, just before the Dover trial. But what I decided to do was when it came time to for audience questions to be asked, I decided I would just ask a question, and the question that I chose to ask was something along the lines of that, one of the aspects of a scientific theory and of sciences is that it can be tested by experiment and so on. So I just asked, so what kinds of experiments can or have been done regarding intelligent design? And as we might expect, he answered the question by listing all these supposed proofs of evolution and why they weren't true. And that was it. But the thing that really struck me was that afterwards, when the audience was leaving, when people came up to me and they noted that was a very interesting question that I asked. It was clear that they realized that I was on the other side. But what I just said to them was, did you notice that he didn't even answer my question? And it looked kind of thoughtful, and that was it. So I'm just hoping that I maybe planted the seeds of doubt. I don't know, but...
Well, I have two things to say real quick. One is, you just came up with a perfect example of what Russell was just talking about with regard to showmanship, is people know how to dodge these things and know how to make themselves look good when they're not answering the question or when they're blowing smoke or when they're lying. Mm-hmm. And it takes a very, very experienced person to nail them and to sort of make it obvious to the people in the audience, because these people know how to do that sort of thing. And the other thing I wanted to say very quickly
but
is...
I mean, also, you don't necessarily have to be an experienced person, because one of the things is they're not really expecting to be challenged on some things.
That's true, yeah. I don't want to be sending the message not to go and participate, so I wanted to congratulate you for going and doing what you could to raise the issues, and I
actually
hope people continue to do that. And go ahead, Russell.
Actually, I mean, in this kind of environment, you'll find that there are a lot more sympathetic people to your side than you might expect. It's just that a lot of them are afraid to speak out. Yeah. I mean, when I went to the school board hearings in 2003 concerning evolution in textbooks, I mean, I got an applause line. It was fun. So, I mean, if you do a small amount of preparation, you know, I think you're likely to receive the kind of response that you got.
Yeah, our group has done some of that here in Texas with the Texas textbook hearings, which are disproportionately important in the United States.
Very important.
Yeah. So congratulations. Good for you.
Thanks. So I guess I just wanted to sort of comment that perhaps this is one thing that those of us who aren't either experienced or very good at public speaking, but perhaps, you know, as you say, if you prepare for it right and don't get too belligerent, because I was aware when I did this that if I just started arguing, I would simply lose, and I would look bad, make my position look bad.
Yeah.
Well, but it seems like if you do prepare, and if you are willing to just sort of say your piece and then leave and then sit down, then, you know, it could be a good thing.
Yeah. Well, it's also important to sort of choose your battles the right way. I mean, in a situation where you're talking about science education in schools, you obviously want to stay on this topic of science. And although you may be an atheist or you may disagree with the religious views of the people involved, that's really not the topic at hand. The topic at hand is science education, and so you need to really focus on that. Look up the previous rulings and the court cases. Look up whatever scientific evidence that this side has. Those are things that are very relevant, there's really not much on their side. I mean, this argument for creationism, this blind watchmaker or this watchmaker argument has been around longer than evolution, and it was part of the ambient environment where Darwin himself grew up in. Right? It's that old, but it has no legs. It has no evidence behind it, no real support. And so it should be a slam dunk. So all you really have to do is bring up those evidences and ask whether these things are falsifiable, whether they have anything going for them, and they won't have it. And that's all you got to do. And that's not very hard. So congratulations, Susan.
Thanks for calling, Susan.
So